Welcome to my ship tour of P&O Arcadia. I'm going to explore the ship deck by deck and give you helpful hints and tips along the way of the best places to go. And I'm going to begin at the very front of the ship on deck 11, which is the sky deck. This is an ideal space for sun lovers to come and catch some rays. There's plenty of lounges to choose from, and it's much quieter than around the pool areas. And as we walk around the bow of the ship, I'll give you a little bit of Arcadia's history. She was originally going to be part of the Holland America fleet before being transferred to Cunard, where she would have become Queen Victoria. She was then transferred to P&O Cruises, renamed as Arcadia, and entered active service in 2005. She is now an adult-only ship, can accommodate 1,952 passengers at double occupancy, and was recently refurbished in late 2024. That's quite enough of the history business, and now back to the tour, and ahead of you can see the retractable roof over the Neptune pool. And inside and in the middle of deck 11 you can find the Indian-inspired specialty dining Sindhu restaurant. And adjacent to Sindhu is the East Bar, which is a perfect place to come for a pre or post dinner drink. I found this to be the quietest bar on board the ship, so it's a nice place to come and chill out away from the crowds. And the new carpets and furniture gave this a lovely autumnal feel. And at the rear of the ship you've got the sports court, which has golf nets and areas marked out for basketball and five-a-side football. At the front of the ship on deck 10 is the very popular Crow's Nest, and in here there are new carpets, furniture and upholstery in a new colour scheme of blues, taupes and caramel. And guests love it here for the amazing panoramic views. It's a very popular location, especially in the late afternoons and early evenings. And there's also a choice of live music available here. From pianists to a live band, there'll be something to suit all tastes. For those looking to get married or to renew their vows, then the Viceroy Room is available for this purpose. Between the Crow's Nest and Viceroy Room and being outside are the first of the cabins on board the ship. And I'm now on a walkway which is either side of the retractable roof. There's really not too much to see, so let's head inside. And this is where you're going to find the retreat. And in this large space, classes for Tai Chi, meditation and yoga take place. Although none of this was available on my cruise, so this was really just an empty space. I'm now back outside again and heading towards the rear of the ship. And above is the ship's funnel with the iconic P&O Rising Sun logo. And on the outside decks here you can play popular games such as shuffleboard and quoits. But please don't ask me the rules, as I've got no idea how to play either. I'm now at the aft of the ship, and this is one of the more popular places to sunbathe. There are plenty of sun lounges available, and there's great views over the Aquarius pool below. I've now dropped down to deck 9 to show you around the Aquarius pool area. Not sure if the covered area to the right hand side was a designated smoking area, but this was sure where the smokers were congregated. And just past that is a large area with lots of tables, chairs and sun lounges. This is also the location for the very popular sail away parties. And if you know which port the ship was docked in when I made this video, please let me know in the comments below. The pool itself isn't that large, although there is a pair of whirlpools and a shower on either side. And to the right is the Aquarius bar, which is the perfect place to grab a cool drink while relaxing in the sun. And heading back inside, and there's the Belvedere, which is the buffet on board the ship. which has new carpets, floor tiles and seating. And in regards to seating, I never found a problem finding a table. And now I'm going to quickly show you what a breakfast service is like. And starting off with drinks, and this is where you can find your teas, coffees and juices. And for the cold options, there's plenty of choice of cereals available, which can either be boxed or loose. And there's a wide selection of cold meats, sliced cheese and fresh fruit. And the attentive crew always made sure that everything was always available. And of course you can always help yourself to your favourite full English breakfast items. The Belvedere is open for breakfast, lunch, afternoon tea, dinner and late night. And there's plenty of choice, so even the fussiest of eaters will find something for them. I'm now heading into the Neptune pool area. This is the indoor pool on board the ship. But the first thing we see on the right hand side is the Neptune grill. This is the ideal place to get burgers, hot dogs, chicken and fries. And while the food here won't win any awards, it's an ideal place to get a poolside snack. There's plenty of seating around the pool, which itself isn't large, but it does have 3 whirlpools. And as I mentioned previously, the roof is retractable, so I was quite surprised it was closed considering what a beautiful day it was. And I do like how P&O have lounge covers to remind guests not to hog loungers. And there are a couple of tables if you fancy playing a bit of ping pong. And at the very front of the ship is where you can find the Oasis Salon and Spa. As you enter on the left hand side there's a sauna, and as you go through there's a hydro pool and treatment rooms too. The treatments here do tend to be popular, so if you're interested, please head here on the first day of your cruise to inquire about availability and pricing. And if you just want to chill out, then the relaxation room is the place for you. And if you're looking for something a little more energetic and maybe burn off some of those cruise calories, then there's a gym at the very front of the ship. In here you'll find a good choice of weight and cardio machines, and gym classes are available too. Heading back out into the pool area, and ahead of us is the Neptune bar, which has a new bar front, updated floor tiles and bar stools, which is the perfect place to get a cold drink, a Costa coffee or an ice cream. Dropping down to deck 8 and the first of the all cabin decks. This is the deluxe balcony cabin that I stayed in, and I'll leave a link here to my full review. But I will say that the highlight of staying in this cabin was that I had a bath. On decks 7 to 4 there are no public spaces except for the self-service laundrette. At the back of the ship on deck 3 is the top level of the Meridian restaurant. This is the ship's main dining room, and I'll show you much more when I get down to deck 2. Walking towards the front of the ship, and the first space you'll come across is the photo gallery. This is where you'll be able to purchase any photographs you had taken professionally during your cruise. And next to that is the tax and duty free shop, where you can purchase cigarettes and alcohol at a reduced price. The piano bar is a popular venue in the heart of the ship. This is a great place to relax in the evenings while listening to the ship's resident pianist. And it looks really smart with its new carpet, reupholstered furniture and scatter cushions. And I think that the new design for carpets in lift lobbies and public corridors looks fantastic. This is the main shopping area on board the ship if you're looking for a bit of a tax-free bargain. and P&O Peninsula Club members can earn a further discount dependent on their status. And from here you can purchase a wide range of items, from clothing to fragrance to jewellery. And one of the quietest places on board the ship is in the library, where here you can read a book, surf the internet or play some board games. And just past the library is the coffee shop Cafe Vivo. Unfortunately it wasn't open on my sailing. And opposite that is the screening room, which is the ship's cinema, which actually showed the BAFTA Awards live while we were on the ship. And opposite is the Arcadia shop. Here you can purchase things like sweets, chocolate, crisps and nuts, and suntan lotions, medicines and toiletries, along with a variety of P&O branded merchandise. And next door is the Creative Waves room, and this is the place to go for those interested in taking arts and crafts lessons. And next door to that is the Ocean room. This is a bit of a card playing area during the day and the location for the syndicate quiz in the evening. And on deck 3 it's also possible to walk around the entire perimeter of the ship on this wraparound promenade. And at the very front of the ship you'll find the entrance to the Palladium, which is the theatre on board. It's split over 3 decks and has a capacity of around 800 people. And of an evening this is going to be the main destination for most people on the ship to see headline shows and guest performers. And I'm now going to drop down to deck 2 and heading outside of the theatre, and you can see the BAFTA Award as P&O Cruises have a partnership for the memorable moment. And this is the Monte Carlo Casino, where you can test the fates on a variety of slot machines and table games. And the new carpets here look fabulous. This is both a popular and very loud location, especially late into the evening. The casino had a mix of both old and new slot machines. I decided to try some of each because you never know when your luck has arrived. So just do remember to gamble responsibly. And located right next to the casino is the very popular pub on board the ship, the Rising Sun, which has been designed to resemble a traditional country pub at home. The refit had a light touch here, with the furniture being reupholstered in these autumn colours. And there's a wide choice of entertainment that takes place in here. From karaoke to live music, there's also a dartboard and Premier League football shown on the big screen TVs. And outside is the art gallery by Clarendon Fine Art. And here you'll find a selection of art and prints available to purchase. Although if you're anything like me, it's just a nice place to hang out and check out the beauty of the art. Maybe I'd have bought something if I'd been a bit luckier in the casino next door. And to the right is the entrance to the Globe. This is rather an elegant circular bar with black and gold decor, which will be the location for live music and game shows into the evening, and into the late hours there'll be a nightclub. And after heading back outside you'll pass even more artwork. And this is the Ocean Grill, a specialty restaurant curated by Marco Pierre White, renowned for its steaks and seafood. Intermezzo is a cocktail and champagne bar that was unfortunately closed on my cruise. And I did really like this fancy artwork. And this is the cruise map, which uses satellite technology to pinpoint the exact route of your cruise. And if you use my code ALIFE in the Parks, you'll receive a 10% discount on your cruise map. This is the nautical themed Spinnaker Bar, which was one of the most popular locations on our cruise. Which is probably because Intermezzo behind me was shut. And here you'll find there'll be game shows during the day and a pianist during the evenings. This is also somewhere where the carpets have been replaced. can also grab yourself a Costa coffee here, and it's also a fantastic location for either a pre or post dinner drink. And at the rear of the ship is the entrance to the lower level of the Meridian dining room. And in here they've introduced new chairs in 3 classic colourways of mocha, teal and blackberry. And the restaurant was open for breakfast, for lunch on sea days and of course for dinner. The P&O breakfast is a bit of a cruise classic, and I really enjoy the relaxed atmosphere of the lunch. And even if you're not a huge fan of the main dining room, I always recommend coming here for celebration night, as the food really is a cut above. And my overall thoughts regarding the dining here is that the food was good but really great, but the service was absolutely fantastic. And lastly, we're down on deck 1 and in the centre of the ship. And this circular seating area has been completely reupholstered. This is the reception, which is the place to go should you have any queries on your cruise, and opposite is where you go if you have any queries regarding your loyalty or booking a future cruise. This is the shore excursion desk where you can book your trips when you're in port, and look at that lovely beautiful new carpet. And at the very front of the ship is the entrance to the lowest part of the Palladium Theatre. This was already a fantastic space, so all that was done here during the refit was to have new carpets. And the main production show on my cruise was Killer Queen, where the cast performed the greatest hits of rock group Queen. This was a fun, high energy performance and one of the best I've seen on any P&O ship I've been on. And lastly, there's the medical centre. It's not the place you'd like to go, but it's comforting to know that it exists. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. I'll have many more cruise videos to come.